Hi, bro. Today we're gonna talk about something which may seem kind of boring because it's mainly about school, but don't click off yet because this is gonna save you a lot of time. And I know you don't like school, and I don't like school either. I mean, I just made a video the other day called like "School is shit," so it's I agree with you, but the thing is, at least for middle school, high school, it's mandatory. You have to do them. So you might as well try to spend as little time as possible doing them, so you can focus on your own shit. So I've been trying to improve in this, and trying to find the most effective way to um, waste as little time as possible in this. And I came across a video of like a professor which explained in detail the best way to study. And I'm gonna very briefly summarize it to you because it was like an hour long. So you need to, first of all, you need to learn to take notes in class because that's very important. I knew this already before the video, but the thing that the video taught me was that not only do you have to take notes, but at the end of the lesson, when the bell starts ringing and the lesson is finished, you take your notes that you've just written about this lecture, and you read through them. And this is personally, I kind of forget to do this at times, but I've been trying to do it more often, and honestly, it does work. Like, it's actually because once you've just finished the lesson, you have the concepts very fresh in your mind, especially if it's like not revision but new stuff. And so when you just read what all of the things that you've noted down during the lesson, and you just read them while you have the concept fresh in your mind, that stuff is gonna really let the concepts stay in your head, also for when you go home and revise them in the future. So this first tip is very useful, and it has been useful for me. Then another tip that was in the video was to, when you study, highlighting or underlining with a pencil is basically useless, because although it might seem that you remember things better if you do this, this is actually not the case, because when you are revising something and you see that you underline stuff, you recognize them from when you had studied them, and your brain is like, oh, I remember, but you don't actually remember the things. You just recognize them, so your brain remembers, the words that you underlined, but that's not the whole concept, is it? So you have to learn to see, read let's say you're studying from the book, you read a paragraph, and you don't underline stuff, but you take your time reading it, and then you go to the next paragraph, you finish that, and then you try and repeat, either in your mind, but I find it is more effective if you say it out loud, and you repeat the concepts not in the paragraph that you just read, but the one before it. And obviously you're not going to remember everything, especially if it's the first time you're reading it or studying about this, but this is actually gonna increase your chances of remembering it in the future. So if you notice that you remember basically nothing, you're gonna reread it, and then you're gonna repeat that until you've established the concepts in your mind. And this thing of not just reading the paragraph and then repeating it, but reading the paragraph, reading the next paragraph, and then repeating the first one, this is also worked for me very well. And I think it's just, I mean, I don't know the science behind it. I don't know how this works, but it does work. So and it might work for you. And not everyone is the same, so not necessarily is it gonna work for you, but hopefully it does. And then one last thing I can tell you about studying more effectively is to try and, it's hard to do this, but it's try and become interested in the topics that you're studying, because although most of the times, like with maths or physics and stuff like that, it's very hard to get, you know, convince yourself that those things are interesting or useful, because they're not. But with things like history maybe, or philosophy if you do philosophy, or you know, psychology, shit like that, conceptual stuff, I think you can develop an interest in these things, and even if it's like kind of fake, you can also fake an interest, and it's gonna work. You're gonna be more interested in a topic, and you're gonna wanna learn more about it. So you're gonna enjoy reading more in a way. It's not really possible to enjoy all the things that you study in school, really, because school is pretty ass. But you know, it kind of helps. So these are the main three things I can tell you about how to improve your efficiency in learning. And I hope you're gonna try these techniques, and let me know if they work in the comments. And yeah, see you in the next video.